Hey, what's up guys? Game Fever Games here, and it's time for another Drama Scripted Saturday. This Drama Scripted Saturday, I want to go over two special things. What wrestlers should always stay a heel, and my opinions on the main event for TLC, the Unification title match between Randy Orton and John Cena. But let's go through my list of wrestlers currently that are wrestling now who I feel that should always be a heel, and my reason why. Let's start off with The Miz. Yes, as you guys know, Miz, well, he should be a heel, but that whole promotional thing with Michael Strahan that was on Monday kind of threw me back off as a face, because usually heels disrespect the host of Raw or the guest of Raw, whatever Strahan was called this past Monday, to just get easy heat from the crowd. I mean, one Giants joke isn't gonna do it. I mean, I know Michael Strahan still cares for the Giants, but technically he doesn't have to. He got his ring. He's done, and he has the most sacks in one NFL season. So technically, it probably did affect him, but it really shouldn't. He's going in the Hall of Fame first year on the ballot. But I feel like this should have been done more in that promo. I feel somebody should have gotten skull crushing finale, either Strahan or either O'Neal. That's how I feel. But that kind of threw me back. Like, he's still a heel because he turned his back on Kofi in a tag match. But that segment should have been something more heelish to it. There's only one joke. But I feel that he should be a heel because the way his attitude and his charisma, he's naturally gifted as a heel. The way he speaks, he feels that he's above the average wrestler or the average human being. And the whole thing that he keeps saying that he's awesome, which he is. As a matter of fact, he stopped doing that, by the way. I don't know if you guys know it. But when he's a face, you could tell he tries so hard to bite his tongue to what he really wants to say, and he has to curve it to keep himself a face, a good guy back when he was a face. When you're a heel, Chris Jericho said it when he was a heel back on WCW, you kind of tend to get more creative because there's no barrier. I mean, there's a language barrier, yes, but there's no barrier of what you can say, because you could basically say anything you want because you're a heel. And that's why back when Chris Jericho said when he was with WCW, he hated being a face, but he loved being a heel just for that one thing, that he could say whatever he wanted. And that's the thing with The Miz. When he was a face, he can't say whatever he wants. He has to curb it to make himself look good. But now he's back as a heel again, and hopefully we could go back to the 2011 Miz that got the WWE title push and got the short WWE title run. I know people are going to say, well, his character hasn't changed much. And that's the reason I would say, well, look at John Cena's character. It hasn't changed in 10 years, but I understand why he's the #1 guy. So you need to come up with more of a reason why, because his character hasn't changed. I mean, you look at Cena, his character hasn't changed either. That's what some people are saying. Another person that I feel that should always be a heel is Alberto Del Rio. I mean, yes, he's just the Mexican version of JBL, but he does well at being the Mexican version of JBL. I mean, if it's not broken, don't fix it. The reason I could see why WWE had him as a face at the time was Rey Mysterio was out once again with an injury to one of his knees, then he had the then he had the steroid violation. So there was no big Mexican face at the time. WWE was like, well, we have Alberto Del Rio, so let's just swing him a face. Yes, he did okay as a face, but his natural physique and his natural charisma and the way he speaks and his attitude just fits him to be a heel. I mean, it's just not like the ruthless aggression that Alberto Del Rio has when he's in the ring and how he carries out all his storylines. It's just natural heel. He's the rich Mexican aristocrat, entrepreneur. It's based Mexican JBL. It fits fits him. It naturally fits him. Remember when he first started his first rivalry with Christian, and he started winking at people? What? Yes. Game Fiend remembers him winking at people. I don't know if you remember, but I remember when he used to do the wink. And it just fit him. And then to have Ricardo Rodriguez to go with him was just the full package. I feel that he's a heel again, and I feel that he should just stay heel. Another wrestler that should stay heel, Dolph Ziggler. He should just stay heel. The only reason he got pushed to a face is because the crowd is behind him, and still to this day the crowd is behind him. The only problem that put him in the doghouse is that he kept the Dolph Ziggler that was on Raw was the same person that was backstage and the same person that was on the outside, which he took his character with him. He didn't know how to not be Dolph Ziggler, and that got him in trouble with corporate. That's why he's technically in the doghouse as we speak. But Dolph Ziggler should always be a heel. He carries himself as a heel. He always talks himself up, and he always talks everybody down. He always says that he's the hardest working wrestler, the hardest working person in the business, while always saying that he's automatically talking down to everybody on the roster. So he should always be a heel. He should just be a heel. It just naturally fits him. Who else I feel that should never be a face? Let's see. At the moment, that's all I could. R-Truth. R-Truth, I feel she's better off as a heel. His face thing sucks. He's less entertaining as a face than he is as a heel. The whole conspiracy truth, I like that R-Truth character the best. It's a conspiracy and everything. I like that R-Truth character the best. And that was a heel character. And how the whole conspiracy and the little Jimmies was screwing it, that was entertaining. The R-Truth as a face is not entertaining. R-Truth needs to go back to being a heel. And that probably wraps it off the top of my head of wrestlers that can't play both and only do good as a heel, and they should only stay heel. Now on to the next topic about how, well, the good and the bad on the titles being unified. Let's start out. I'm gonna start out with the good. Start out with good reasons why the titles should be unified. Whoever's the champion, it's more of a boost, and they're more important because there's only one main event title now. There's not two of them. So the person who is the title is indeed the number one guy because there's only one title now. Whoever's carrying the undisputed title, if it does get unified, because I have speculations on what might happen, I'll save those for later, he gets a bigger morale because he's the guy, and it makes him look bigger because there is no other person, it's just him. I was gonna say less weight to carry around because there's gonna be two titles. They're probably gonna get rid of the World Heavyweight title, and that would, well, besides the US Championship, that is the last remaining piece of WCW history. That title did not change. When Vince brought the company and brought that title over, the title didn't change. It looks exactly the same as the WWE title, but when they unify it, I'm gonna rest to assure you that they're going to keep the WWE title because it's new. It's not even is it a year old? No, it's not even a year old yet. Yeah, the new WWE title is not even a year old yet. So when they unify it, if it happens, because speculations of what I think is going to happen at the TLC that could BS us all, and there'll still be two titles. So there's only going to be one champion. So he looks bigger, the title looks more important, or the main event looks more important because there's only one belt, and that's pretty much it. Now, the bad on why the titles are unified. You're going to have a lot of main eventers that are not going to have anything to do. let's be realistic. Only so many people could go after the title at one time. You have CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler when he gets out the doghouse, Alberto Del Rio, Sandow if they ever decide to give him that last final push over the edge. So that's 5 so far. Randy Orton or John Cena, whoever comes out the loser, because what are they going to do, correct? Sheamus when he comes back, Big Show will be on 9 main eventers so far. Who else is an established main eventer? Rob Van Dam if he ever decides to come back, if the company ever decides to sign him. So that's 10. We're going to have 10 people not knowing what to do. So they're going to be thrown into a bunch of storylines, and basically what it's going to be an elevated mid-card, even though it's not a mid-card. It's going to be a lot of main eventers not having anything to fight for. At least with 2 titles, there was always something going on for the World Heavyweight title, and there was always something going on for the WWE title. If they're unified to make it an undisputed championship, that cuts to how many main event belts there are for. Now there's only 1 instead of 2. And that's the big, and yeah, brand splits don't mean anything anymore. Raw's at 3 hours and SmackDown is 2, but SmackDown stars can come on Raw. And I think vice versa. So since they're going to unify the titles, they have to kill the brands. Well, which they did kill the brand. There hasn't been a draft since 2010, I believe. Yes, there hasn't been a draft since 2010 when CM Punk got drafted to Raw. So there hasn't been a draft since 2010. They basically killed the brand splits, even though they are still named. Well, the World Heavyweight Champion is supposed to be the SmackDown Champion, and the WWE title is supposed to be the Raw Champion, but they both appear on both shows, so it kills it. So that's why I guess they're only going back to 1 title. My base thing is if like the BS happens, which I feel what's gonna happen. I feel what's gonna happen is Randy Orton's going to grab the World Heavyweight title, and John Cena's going to grab the WWE title, and they're both going to fall, and that's how the match is going to end. Now, if they're going to keep the 2 titles, I feel that they need to be more strict on the brand splits, and I honestly feel that Raw needs to go back to 2 hours. Because making it 3 hours is a drag. I mean, your pay-per-view, it lessens the value of pay-per-views, because the extra reason why you would want to buy the pay-per-view is it's an extra hour of non-stop action, because pay-per-views have no, well, in quotation marks, commercials, because there are advertisements, but they're not commercials. But that lessens the value of the pay-per-view, because you have a regular show that's 3 hours, where you would buy the pay-per-view because it's 3 hours of technically it's supposed to be non-stop wrestling. But then again, when was the last time a pay-per-view went all the way to 11 o'clock? Lately, pay-per-views have been stopping at the 10:45 mark, 10:50 mark, which honestly has been kind of pissing me off as well. But yeah, I feel Raw should go back to 2 hours, and if they do keep the 2 titles, I feel that they should do a draft and then really have back in, 2000s, the mid 2000s, go back to the brand split again. Certain superstars on showing shows, and also that's less fatigue on superstars themselves, because John Cena and both Randy Orton for the past month have showed up on both shows. So has Triple H. Yes, Triple H doesn't wrestle, but yeah, he shows up on both shows. So that would lessen the fatigue on the roster as well. But yeah, that's my thoughts and opinions on those 2 topics I'd like to share with the IWC. Small note, Aces and Eights has ended. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. So I will be going back to watching TNA starting next Thursday. I didn't get a chance to catch the Thanksgiving episode, which I'm probably going to read up on after this. I'm recording this on Friday once again, so just letting you know. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you. That means you're a full supporter of this. And feel free to ask me a question. And that's going to wrap this up, this JavaScript Saturday. Until next Saturday, guys. Later and peace.